Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, a divine messenger, delivering messages to you from the higher realms. Welcome in everyone. So this is going to be a reading for my chosen ones, okay? Because I've been sitting here trying to discover things, right? Because this very powerful portal, 1111, or the 111 portal, right? It's interesting you said 1111. Is definitely bringing some things to light. Also, full moon coming in. This is my full moon too. This is my Cancer full moon. I'm Cancer sun, so I'm very intrigued by what is coming in, right? So it's led me to investigating things, and you know how like different things get activated when you're ready to receive them. And I've been taking a look into account like a lot of things that have gone on in my life, a lot of cycles that have closed out, wrapping them up, looking at why I've experienced those things, right? And it's just like with the chosen, like you need to understand, like, you had to prove that you would be ready. Like I've been getting a lot of where the chosen, like a lot need to step up right now. Like now is the time where a lot of you are realizing that this is where you answer the call. This is where you realize that, yes, you've made it through. 144 on the clock as I say that. You've made it through like your initiation, and it's like, but now you still get to like basically like choose. Like you were already chosen, but it's like for a lot of you, like you were being prepared for your next level. Like for a lot of you, your next level is literally to lead. Okay? And it's like for a lot of you, like maybe you still don't feel that you're worthy to receive what you've worked so hard to, in fact, get. Like, but it's like, no, like justice is coming in. Like that's something I've noticed with like my tarot, like literally. It has been so direct with this beautiful, like it's basically been like pushing everything out the way that is not like I don't even know how to explain this. Like I've just been like my tarot readings have been coming out like boss. Like I've literally been just seeing bam bam bam, like just all this beautiful energy of like just so much abundance is coming in. I'm like, every reading's coming out like this, like, oh my gosh, like this is very powerful. And this is the time that it's like you will receive what you are meant to receive. So for a lot of you, like things are literally being moved around to like force you to take what you were supposed to. So I don't know why this is coming out. Like somebody's being hesitant, or somebody just doesn't feel that they're worthy of it because you're still processing out maybe cycles and things to be ready to receive. Maybe you're starting to see signs that things are starting to come together for you. And it's like for a lot of you, maybe it's hard for you to understand that, like, yes, you are the chosen one. You were chosen, you were selected by the universe. Like you were meant to go through certain experiences and things. Like it was always destined for you. But for some of you, like you were protected from some of that, or it wasn't meant for you to like awaken to certain things, because it's like if you knew that you were a chosen one set up for this, like the experiences initiation wouldn't have been as rewarding for you. You know what I mean? And this is what's beautiful when you really see Most High stepping in and taking over. And I keep hearing the story of Job, right? And from my understanding of it, it was like worked in two ways, right? It was like, it was to vindicate Job at the end to show his faith and everything, but it was also to show others, like, right? There's two ways to that, right? And it's like, that's why, like, for the chosen, like, you needed to go through that darkness, that isolation, truly trusting your faith, right? And you're about to see everything just unfolding. But it's like when you're ready to come out of that, when you're ready to allow and receive, and that's what answering the call is. Like allowing God's favor to come in, right? Allowing like whatever that may look like for you, your abundance coming in, your rescue, your, like you need to come out. And that's something that I've been going around and light working so many souls that I align with, is so many people come explain their stories to me, and I see how humble they are, and I'm like, well, it's beautiful, the story you've been through and everything, look at how strong it has made you, just to even be able to tell me your story and the pain that you went through, but you're telling me triumphantly, why did I say that? And it's not at a place where it's hurting you. You're spreading that as empowerment. You've healed from that. Now it's time to allow the blessings to come in. You need to know that now you are, you're ready to receive everything now for having gone through those things. It's like the chosen, so many of us have been so focused on the mission, like we know that like we do all of these things, like all of our hardships, everything, like they're for something, right? And for a lot of us, it's like we're waiting for the rescue, we're waiting for God, divine source to step in and free us from those things. But in this journey, you learn that it's all about when you come into union with God, divine source, you free yourself from those things, right? So for a lot, like it's all this mindset, right? This trickery and everything, and activating. But maybe for a lot, like it was literally supposed to be for now, like literally like this time, like when you're catching this reading, like this time, literally. Like that's why for a lot of you, like you feel this intense energy, because it's like you knew it was coming, right? For a lot of you, like you need to realize like you were being prepared your entire life for this. And for a lot of you, like you were tested too, like to see if you would break, if your heart would stay with Most High, if you would still be radiating that beautiful light that you carry. If anybody was able to take that light from you. That's why I've been saying, like, even with everything being revealed, a lot of that was the enemy's tactics. A lot of that was all of these things that try to just show you, look at all of this stuff that we did to you. Are you going to be revengeful now? Look at all of this. Is your heart going to go dark? Are you going to want revenge? Are you going to? But it didn't. So for a lot of you, like you recently just passed like your final test. So yay! You didn't let the darkness defeat you. You kept that beautiful light. So, and that's also why, because it's like if you knew that you were going through these initiations and tests, then they wouldn't even be a test to you. Do you see what I mean? So for a lot of you, like things are starting to be unlocked for you now, because you're starting to realize like, oh my gosh, like this is this beautiful energy that I'm feeling. So that's why things are meant to be unlocked, certain levels, right? Certain ways for you. So for some of you, like, that's why, like, fully let go. Like, it's the enemy that's just keeping you focused on what they did in the past and all that. Let it go. Focus on this new pathway, right? For a lot of you, you need to start investigating things too. You're going to uncover and reveal things, like literally little things. There's been signs and synchronicities throughout your life that have shown you. And I've been looking a lot into this. I'm like, okay, I was starting to realize like how like this isolation, like I've realized that I've been going through as of late, is it's like really since 2025, like I've been the most isolated I ever have been, right? Where it's literally like where I've been placed, where I've been put, like I understand, like it's literally been where it's just been me and my daughter. And it's never been where it's just been literally me and her for longer than like a day or two, right? And it's like, even though I have 4 children, like they're all have been pulled different places, and where I know that they're happy, they're okay. And So it's been allowing me to just heal my heart, kind of heal my nervous system in a way too. And then, I've looked, well, even these little times where I've had a little bit of time alone, like, where was I going? What was trying to be shown to me? And I was realizing that when I was starting to get on the path of finding things and seeing things, more things were coming in and blocking me and making me go back and forth with things. So I'm actually been starting to see like, oh my gosh, like that was almost like interference, because I was starting to go down this path of discovery and I was starting to feel this way, and then certain things were getting in. So for some of you, you're starting to realize that the destiny blockers, the things that were getting in, like I revealed this in the other reading I did yesterday, that like literally certain things like that get extracted and moved out of your field. Like you need to know, like that was like divine has been removing these things and moving things around for you to see these signs. So a lot of things are being orchestrated for you. That's why if you don't think that like you're saving God's hands on your life, that things are being rearranged, then they're not, because you could be combating that or going against that. Especially like if things are removed out of your life and you're bringing them back in, you're allowing them back in. You're allowing the enemy to have access to you. You're going back to an old way, or, and for some of you, if you have been in that place where it's like you want to see a little bit of revenge, or you want, it doesn't mean that you've missed out on it's taking you going to be a little bit more time before your blessings coming in. So you're the one that's holding it back, basically. If you're letting other people's energy pull you that way, just let go. And for some of you, it might not even be you. You might need to do some cord clearing, some severing of ties, and just call an Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael to help you with clearing those cords, right? You don't have to go through a whole like ritual or whatever. You can just ask your angels to come help you clear those ties, release, surrender, call your power back to self, things like that. You can very much do that. So yeah, that's what I mean. For some of you, it was like they're not even your thoughts. Like literally, I was battling that a while when I realized it was a lot of external forces, right? Like literally, like certain people were bringing like entities to me. I was like, why when you're around all of a sudden do I have somebody trying to get me to sell my soul? Like, why is that literally like happening right now? Like, and it's happened all throughout my life, like these little tests and these little challenges. And I was just like, obviously it's because, it was to show you. For some of you, some of these things were allowed to like get close to you just to show you that, yeah, certain individuals, and maybe it's like projections too, because I've been around some, some that have sold their souls, right? So, and some that have been trying to sacrifice mine. And a lot of you chosen ones, like you're realizing certain people were after you because you're chosen, to try to stop you from carrying that light at this time. But it was all part of like your initiations and your tests, that they were allowed to have access to you. Okay, so God's hand is very much always been protecting and guiding you and allowing things, but it's like a lot needed to be allowed to happen just to see. And for some, you're starting to realize like how much, in fact, that's leveling you up. Like it's meant for you to get justice for this, so stop letting them block you from their justice. Okay, that's why if you haven't seen that the challenges and obstacles haven't been removed, then you're the one still bringing them in, because there's already this beautiful 14 o'clock, as I say that. It's like we've reached this where it's like, I know the phrase like new levels, new devils, but it's like, it's not even a thing anymore, because everything, it's like the devil's, all the tricks have been played. Everything has been done. It's like, if these things do come at you, you already know that you can overcome them because they've already came at you in one way or another. So you have the strength to overcome every single thing. So that's what I mean. Like, the light is already won. So you're the one that's playing the game. A lot of you need to walk away. If you're still playing the game, if you're still proving to be, it's a battle of the ego. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you still need to go through your dark night of the soul. You're surrendering your ego. If you feel that you need to battle or challenge these things. When you reach this level of mastery, you're no longer needing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what someone says about you, what somebody, you know what I mean? Everything is being reversed. Once you reach this level, everything literally just goes right back to sender. It doesn't even touch you. It doesn't do anything to you. Do you know what I mean? So if there are challenges and obstacles going down your path, it's because you're allowing them to be. And a lot of it is reprogramming the mind, getting out of that. And that's why I said for some of you, you need this intense isolation. Like I have done so much purging and clearing, pulling myself out of the bathtub, crying, just purging out all of this stuff. Maybe for some of you, that's what you need to do, right? But looking at these things, right? Okay, so, yeah, so maybe for some of you need to start to pay more attention to the signs, the synchronicities, the things that have been coming about, right? Some of you are going to realize some of the positions that you're meant to carry here at this time, right? So let me do investigating, like, been looking at the gods and the goddesses, right? So it got me, like, starting to interpret different names and meanings, right? And I wanted to just, I thought I would share some, where is I? So I was starting to look at, like, I've always looked at, like, you know, as my name being Crystal, right? So you can look up the meanings of your names. I was looking at, like, the soul urge number, like different numerology and different things, right? But I wanted to show you guys. All right, so like the name Crystal in the Greek meaning symbolizes clear or precious, also meaning ice. The Latin word meaning brilliant and glass. And what's interesting is Scottish. Like my father always told me that we were from Scotland, right? Our name originated from there. And the Scottish diminutive of Christopher, or a shortening form, which means son of crystal. Biblical, crystal is used to describe something of great value, such as the New Jerusalem, brilliant and glory. The name crystal comes from the transparent quartz gemstone, which can be cut to reflect light. Okay. Crystal symbolizes something clear or precious and derives from crystals, which is a Greek word for ice. No doubt your love for... Okay. And then the American baby name says crystal is the form of the Greek word meaning carrier of Christ. Famous barrier, Saint Christopher, the patron, the saint, the pure, the illusion, the high quality of glass on its crystal. And then I realized that I got this little clip, right, that came across my something where it was like children coming about, realizing that some of your children could be very ancient souls by things that they say. But it was this little boy, and it was a clip of him saying, like, I don't want to go across the river. I don't want to, like, and it was something about going across the river, right? And so it was bringing me to the baby going across the river. Or something like, I don't know, they were showing me that around the same time is I was starting to look into this story. Now I have to find it. Where it talks about, some of you may even know it, where Saint Christopher was he was carrying something like the weight of the sins. something very significant. If you guys have watched my story a little bit, if you don't remember, I'm talking about Christopher so much. Christopher was always very, very significant to me. Like, my first 2 boyfriends were literally Christopher, and then I had another Christopher, but even before that, like, I named my son Christopher. And I didn't name him after these. These were, like, first boyfriends I had, like, my early 20s, right? So it was like, Christopher always had a significant name, very much to me, but I never knew why, right? Hold on, I clicked off my phone. Am I still recording? Okay. My camera's been really funny lately, so hopefully this one uploads and it's not all glitchy. Maybe they'll bring it back to this. So, and then, let me go back to that. So then I started to look up my middle name, right? Along with it. I'm not even going to disclose my last name. I'm just trying to show you guys. I mean, if you guys are following my Facebook and stuff, you probably know. But I recently took it down. My middle name is Anne. So Crystal Anne is the female name where crystal originates from the Greek word crystals, meaning clear eyes, or symbolizing something clear and precious, while Anne is shortened from Hannah, meaning grace or God has favored me. Okay, so God has favored me is the association with Anne. Okay. And, see, and they led me to this, let me just look up the saint. Saint Christopher. Something about Saint Christopher was a patron saint of travelers who sometimes, okay, so according to the legend, he was crossing a river when a child asked to be carried across. Child across the river. The story of Saint Christopher carrying a child across the river is a legend about the patron saint of travelers. Saint Christopher was a giant who helped travelers cross a dangerous river. One night a child asked to ride on his shoulders, but the child became heavier with each step. When they reached the other side, the child revealed himself as Christ and said that Christopher had carried the weight of the world. The name Christopher comes from the Greek word Christos, Christ, meaning Christ bearer. The story of Saint Christopher is a Catholic story of encouraged tolerance and readiness to change. It also tells of a story of Rebus who started as a monster and became immortal. That's what I mean. I started to look into these things. So my second son's name is Christopher. My first son's name is Gabriel. His middle name is Christian, which means follower of Christ as well, I believe. Follower of Christ means Christian. Okay. And my son's middle name, my second son's middle name is Charlie. Free manor warrior. And he's my Leo. That's what I mean, like all of these things, and I could go on with my children's name, but I know I investigated my children's names a long time ago, and I always knew how powerful each of them were, right? Especially with my daughter's little name being Rose. My other daughter's little name being Clara. Clara. Like they're... Or Casey. I'm trying not, because, okay, one of my daughters has 2 middle names. Okay. 24:44 on the clock as I say that. That's why I was starting to. But anyway, like, I always knew that they were very significant, right? But it's like I didn't even realize at the time. I just wanted to have cute, old-fashioned names, I had said. You know, which is very interesting. And, like, and if you know, it's not just like we come up with these names. They're predetermined. They're created in the ethers before we incarnate. They're part of our blueprint. That's why looking up your name is so significant, because it's already created, and it's embodiment of these vibrations and these numbers of, like, it ultimately playing out who you are. And it's like, I know that we seem to think, oh, names are created here by our parents or whatever. No, it's like literally like the thought form comes from the ethers down to your parents to put that name there. And it's just like, even if you have felt empowered to, like, change your name, then then it was for you to do that. And it's little things like, just like I've always known, I guess I'll just put it out there, my last name is Connor. And like, I always know that I would never change my name. Even if I was to get married, I would always keep my name. It's something. And I remember it was a big fight. Somebody was like, when they wanted to marry me, like, no, you're going to change your name, because I've been engaged before, but I've turned down the ring. I've ended up turned down, but it was always like a fight, like, no, you're going to change your name, you're going to hyphen. I was like, no, my name will never change. I always knew, and I don't know why that stuck with me, but it's been coming out even stronger to me as of late, that there's something very, very powerful with my name. And it's led me down this path of discovery and looking these things out. And I don't know, I've been sitting here with this, trying to figure things out, and I thought I'd put together this little video, right? But I definitely know that it's for the chosen ones, and hopefully this leads you to go investigate your name, look for the signs of synchronicities, because there are many, and if anything, this is such a powerful time. So please go investigate, like, your name, look for your signs, look for things. Maybe look into your children, because a lot of very, very powerful children, especially if you are a very powerful being, you're a chosen one, okay? Your children are have very significant paths and things, and look into this stuff, right? All right, 27 stood out, turn the clock as I say that. Love and lights, all of you. Bye, guys.